take with the Prophet ﷺ. The following year, the Ansar, when they head back to Medina, they're going to impress upon what the Ansar in and of themselves, many of the Ansar to become Muslim, to actually become Muslim, okay? To which many do. And the Prophet ﷺ, in order to assist that process, he sends the great companion, say the Musab ibn Umayr, who had fled Mecca, had made Hijra to Abyssinia, and he's going to be quote-unquote recalled from Abyssinia and then sent where to Madina to Munawwara in order to begin to teach the religion to the early people, call them, teach and to call the society. And what Musab achieves is unprecedented, because he takes an entire society with very few followers, they became Muslim, less than 100, turns it on its head, the entire society enters into Islam under Sayyidina Musab ibn Umayr. Sayyidina Musab would just sit under trees, he wouldn't even go and speak to people. Because what he understood, it's like the beauty that when monotheism enters into a situation of polytheism or disbelief, it's going to cause some type of ruffle the feathers of people who have a vested interest in power. So Sayyidina Musab used to sit in Medina understanding, they're going to come to me, I'm teaching people monotheism, the trouble's coming to me, I don't need to come to it. And lo and behold, the chiefs would all come to Sayyidina Musab ibn Umayr, and one beautiful one was called Husayd, and Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, famous Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, they were chiefs of the house. And Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Mu'adh and Sayyidina Husayd, he says to Husayd, Sa'd says, go, this one who's causing problems in the city, eject him from the city. So Husayd goes, he said, he arms himself with a spear, and he goes up to Sayyidina Musab ibn Umayr, and he says, what you're teaching is not welcome inside of Yathrib, leave. You have to leave, this is the chief of the house, okay, youngster. And then what Sayyidina Musab says, I'm only speaking some words. And he said, look, I'll tell you what, let me just tell you what I'm teaching. If you like it, we can speak some more. And if you don't, I'll leave. I will gladly leave. And that's sort of amazing for him to say, I will get up and leave if you don't like what I'm going to tell you. That is like that's a different type of swagger, a different type of confidence Sayyidina Musab radiallahu ta'ala has. And the riwayah, that Husayn looks at him and says, you're a fair man, aren't you? That's a very balanced man to actually say, if I don't like it, you'll leave. And he doesn't see there's going to be a struggle here. Husayn, in the riwayah, he takes hold of his spear, and he throws it into the ground, and then he just sits, yarba', he sits cross-legged. What have you got to say? By the time Sayyidina Musab's finished, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. And then he gets up and then leaves, he leaves. And then Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Mu'adh's waiting for him. This is the great Sa'd, the one when he dies, Allah's throne shakes for his death. Huge Sahaba, Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Mu'adh. And Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Mu'adh said, he's sitting, and he said, I see Husayn return, and he says, he has a different type of light. He looks different. It's amazing, his face, he looks different. What's happened? And then he says, Husayn walks up to him, gives him the spear and says, your turn. You better go and speak to him, not me. So Sayyidina Sa'd goes, and it's just a rerun. What do you want? Leave town. It's only a word if you like it. Khalas. Then we can speak more, otherwise I'll leave. Same thing, Sa'd, fair man, sits down, finishes, khalas, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Sayyidina Sa'd, then, this is the power of leadership, goes back and gathers the entire house, and he asks the house, who am I? Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, Amiruna. He's the great Sa'd. Remember when he's on his deathbed after the battle of Qurayza, on the battle of Qurayza after Khandaq, when he walks into the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ, the Sahaba are all sitting, the Prophet ﷺ says, Qumu li sayyidikum. Everybody stand for your master. When Sa'd ibn Mu'adh enters, the Prophet commands all the Sahaba to stand for him. When he walks in, he's injured, he's been hit in the battle of Khandaq, radiallahu ta'ala, one of great stature. And this is shown here, he tells the entire house, who am I? You're the great Sa'd, you're the one of noble virtues, your father's a man of noble virtues. He said, okay, I'm a Muslim, and this is Islam, and if you do not believe, I will not speak to a single one of you again. They all uttered the Shahada, the entire house. And Sayyidina Musab is just sitting beneath a tree. The power of the great Daiee himself.